This is Maginoni, and let's talk previews. This is for previews in December, so these will be books coming out in February of 2014. First up is Forever Evil. Now, this is a Forever Evil tie-in for Justice League number 28. Now, I'm sure you're probably going, what am I doing talking about Forever Evil when I'm really not enjoying it that much? Well, it's simple. This is the 52 version of the Metal Men. Now, this is a classic superhero team, and this is their new re-envisioning of them. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be just pissed off because these characters have been changed so much. But on the other hand, it's a new look. If you're a fan of them, this is your opportunity to see what DC's going to do to your classic heroes. Okay, next up is the world's finest crossover with the DC universe, so to speak, in that we have first contact between Batman, Superman, Huntress, and Power Girl. Now, I'm not quite sure how to think about this for right now because I liked how Huntress and Power Girl were in their own little world, and everybody else was dealing with their own issues. But I really did like the Damian Huntress a crossover a little bit, and I really wanted more of that before they decided to kill him off. But I knew eventually this day was going to come where Bruce would have to deal with the Huntress because since she's been siphoning money out of his account. So this is going to be one of those things that it's either going to be really interesting or it's just going to be kind of, ugh, why did I even buy it? So keep your eyes out if you've been buying either or. Joker's Daughter number 1. I was really not happy with seeing the Joker's Daughter at all in the villain month. But if this is something that you like, if you want to support DC with yet another Batman title, feel free to waste your money, considering this is $5. But I'm really gonna pass on this one. There's no way am I gonna support that nonsense. Okay, we have an unprecedented event in one double-sized issue. It's a flip book for Green Lantern 28 and Red Lanterns 28. Now, I don't know if I'm going to buy this right now, but it's such an interesting novelty that I might pick this up. And it's only going to be, what, $2.99? So it's kind of like they're not really gouging it, so I can at least appreciate that. But we'll see. I might, like I said, there's a good chance I'll actually pick this up just because I'm curious to see how this flip book is going to work. Let's see. Before I go into some manga and Marvel, Image had a lot of number ones. Some of them, I mean, I'm sure some of these might be good, but nothing really just stood out like, wow, that looked like it was an interesting read. Some of them were just violent, some of them were just kind of like, eh. But anyways, what we have for manga is Dead Man Wonderland. Tokyo Pop put this book out years ago, but they never finished it because they went under. Well, it's back. Why would you even think I would even mention Dead Man Wonderland? Very simple. Imagine this. A young kid, high school, gets blamed because his class is massacred. And, he's the only survivor. People think he did it. He didn't. And he gets sent to prison. But this is not an ordinary prison, see? Imagine a prison where you are poisoned, and every day you have to take an antidote, and they just don't give it to you. You have to technically earn your antidote. And on top of that, imagine a prison where it's like an amusement park of death, and that's Dead Man Wonderland. How could you lose with a concept like that? You just don't see this thing in Marvel or DC, ever. Dragon Ball. And then now you're going, well, geez, Majinoni, why would you mention Dragon Ball? That's like when I was 10 years old. Simple. This is the colored version of the manga. So, if you like the manga and you want to see a color version of it, now's your chance. If you've never read this, now's your chance. Because this Dragon Ball is one of the best signature fighting mangas ever. And without this, you wouldn't have Naruto and Bleach and a lot of other, even One Piece, other key mangas. So that was your opportunity to get it in full color. Next up is Marvel chess pieces. Now, DC put out chess pieces a while ago, and now Marvel looks like is jumping on the bandwagon, and they have a chess piece for Loki and Wolverine, and also they have the Marvel Fact Files with Wolverine. Now, Eaglemoss figures are really well done. I really want to buy this. This pains me because these figures are really nice, but I have so many other Eaglemoss figures, I have no room. It's basically, imagine tribbles, and that's what these figures are like. You know, you get one to start with, and it's all cute and cool. Then next thing you know, you have your room full of these things, and that's where I'm at right now with the Eaglemoss figures. And because keep in mind, it's not only just a figure, it comes in a box, and this box is designed specifically for the figure. What do you do with the box if you display the figure? If you display the figure without the box, well, you know, now you have to store the boxes. If you store them with the box, then it doesn't look cool. And on top of that, you have fact files, and these files are large sized. Not a lot of pages, but large size. What are you going to do with those when you get like 50 figures? You know, these things, it's so much space, but they look so cool. Um, so I am kind of glad to see the return of this. Now, this is what I don't like, is the Wolverine one is 32 bucks, but the chess piece ones are going to be 16. Now, the chess piece ones are going to be the cheaper way to go. DC has, to start off with, they have like the Batman series, but now I noticed they had like Firestorm and there was somebody else, so it looks like they've been branching off. So if you want something unique, there you go. On to Marvel Now. This is the all-new Marvel Now with a whole bunch of new number ones. This is going to drive me crazy. Okay, hot off the Killable series is Wolverine. He lost his healing powers. What a spoiler! They ruined the spoiler because they've been saying he can't heal even before the series ended. So I'm like, what are you gonna do? But anyways, he joins like the mob, and he's some enforcer type guy, and he's got guns now. And I'm like, this is completely stupid. I don't think I'm gonna buy it. Next up is Fantastic Four. This is a new relaunch of Fantastic Four, but with James Robinson. Why am I so excited about this? Because James Robinson was doing Earth 2, and I really enjoyed his Earth 2 series. So what I'm really hoping is he's able to get back to what made the Fantastic Four cool. You know, like, the last run with Fantastic Four with their powers going crazy and killing them was interesting in the sense that they were traveling again, but it was missing something magical. And, because you just can't travel. And you need to have the adventure part, and the adventure part was, I thought, was where everything was lacking. And I think the way Robinson was doing Earth 2 with the rebooting of that universe, I'm hoping he's able to do that kind of magic with Fantastic Four. And it's not that I'm saying that Fantastic Four necessarily needs a reboot, but it's just that it was going back to who these characters were, in a sense, reinventing them in a more interesting way. And hopefully this will be a good read. I'm definitely buying this. Next up is Miss Marvel #1. I'm really on the fence on this one. You know, I'll probably get the first couple just to see what it's like, and that way I can do a review of them for you guys. But to me, this just reeks of marketing. You know, it's like, Miss Marvel got changed to Captain Marvel, so it looks like they have to go back to Miss Marvel to keep their brand, their trademark. And it's like, well, we need to make it a girl, so what do we do? Do we make it another blonde? Do we make it brunette? But then it's the same carbon copy of Carol. So they chose a Middle Eastern person, and it's like, ooh, now we can stamp that on there and send that out in press releases. The first, Middle Eastern Marvel character. And, it's, to me, it's just kind of like weak in that sense. Maybe if there was a good reason for it, that would make sense, but I don't know. The other funny thing is, we notice her skin color there, and you notice her skin color there. So we'll see how that lasts. Next up is Punisher #1. Art is fantastic. So, that's all I think I really need to say about this. The art just looks great. So, and we already know what this is going to be about. It's going to be about people getting killed, things blowing up, and thousands of bullets being shot. Rick Remender is doing Winter Soldier: The Bitter March, 5-issue miniseries. I'll probably buy it because I really like Remender's work. Goblin Nation starts. This is the big Green Goblin Spider-Man war. This is going to be with Superior Spider-Man 27. So watch out for that. Everything has been leading to this. Well, okay, maybe not everything, but recent storylines. Next up, New Warriors #1. I'm really torn with this book. I love the concept of the New Warriors because this is a way we can get new characters and maybe we can get something interesting out of this. The one thing I think Marvel and DC sorely lack is the ability to create new characters that last. They always die off in sales. So with a concept like the New Warriors, if the New Warriors book sells well, then they can take these characters and spin them off onto their own, or maybe even put them into other series, and then they become more viable characters later on down the road. So I'm really hopeful for that works. Unfortunately, though, a lot of times this series, it doesn't get the love it needs. It doesn't get top-tier writers, it doesn't get top-tier creators, and the stories and it just kind of just spins a downward spiral from, like, let's say, the top 20 sellers down to the 90th sellers. So that's what my biggest fear is for this book. But I am hopeful for it. Okay, next up is The Amazing Spider-Man Family Business original graphic novel. This is, Spider-Man, the Kingpin. There's some other things going on here. Artwork looks phenomenal, and I'm definitely going to buy this, hands down. It's only $25. This is going to be a no-brainer for me. And finally, the Annihilation Omnibus. If you like Guardians of the Galaxy, this is where everything pretty much really starts. Where you have the big, gigantic war, you have the Annihilation Wave with the Nihilists, and you have, like Ronin and Super Skrull, Silver Surfer, all those people in here, Guardians of the Galaxy. This is it. I mean, has everything inside of here. It's got all the miniseries as well as the main core story. Now, this is my disclaimer. The core is fantastic. The extra stuff around it, that's going to be hit and miss. I don't remember which ones were the good ones, but, obviously between, like, Super Skrull and the Ronin, Silver Surfer, some of them are going to be fairly decent and others not. So that's my only disclaimer. But this book will give you everything. Now, it's $125, so, this is going to hurt people's wallets. So, like I've always mentioned, if you're buying an omnibus, especially if you're pre-ordering the omnibus, skip your comic book store initially. Go to Amazon, go to places like Discount Comic Book Store, go to In Stock Trades, go to any of those other major online comic book store realtors. Check what their prices are first. I have purchased other omnibuses in the past and have gotten significant savings. We're talking about 40% plus savings by going to these alternate suppliers. Your shipping times might vary, though. I know Discount Comic Book Store or those other online realtors, they don't always ship. I mean, depending upon how you select your shipment, it may not arrive right when it comes out. And some of these other suppliers, they don't do next day shipping. They might have, like, you have to wait like maybe 5-7 days or something like that until it arrives. Amazon's got Prime, so that could help with shipping. And then sometimes Amazon gets their books earlier, sometimes they get them a little bit later. So, be conscious of that. But since this is an older book, I don't think it's time sensitive. But regardless, if this is something that you want, please check other sources. And then if nothing works, then go to your comic book store and go, hey, I want to buy this. Anyways, if you have any comments or questions, let me know. Let me know what you guys are looking forward to in February. More reviews later. So until next time.